Welcome to News Site. Trump top aides asked Netanyahu to change policy in occupied West Bank. President Trump and his top advisors asked Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to change Israel's policies in the occupied West Bank during their meeting on Monday. According to a U.S. official and another source, both with direct knowledge, why it matters. While the security situation in the West Bank has deteriorated dramatically, and other Western governments have denounced Israel's policies, the Trump administration has been seen as supportive. This is the first time in his second term that Trump and his team have weighed in at length with Netanyahu about West Bank policy. The U.S. official said the White House thinks a violent escalation in the West Bank would undermine efforts to implement the Gaza peace agreement and prevent the expansion of the Abraham Accords before the end of Trump's term. Over the past 3 years, Netanyahu's hard-right government has actively pushed policies that have weakened the Palestinian Authority and starved it of funds, dramatically expended settlements, legalized outposts, forcibly displaced Palestinian communities, and taken many more steps toward de facto annexation. Trump and his team expressed concern about the situation in the West Bank and asked Netanyahu to avoid provocative steps and calm things down, the sources said. Zoom out. In the meeting, Netanyahu also laid out his concerns about Iran and Hezbollah rebuilding their military capabilities, particularly on long-range missiles, the sources said. Trump made clear in his public remarks that further military strikes against Iran were on the table. Netanyahu agreed to move toward the second phase of the Gaza deal, even though he has been at odds with Trump's team about its implementation, according to the sources. He also accepted Trump's request that he resume talks with the Syrian government over a potential security pact. Zoom in. We have had a big discussion for a long time on the West Bank. I wouldn't say we agree on the West Bank 100%, but we will come to a conclusion on the West Bank, Trump said during a press conference with Netanyahu after their meeting. Behind the scenes, the sources said the topic came up both in the preparatory meeting Netanyahu had on Monday morning with Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Steve Witkoff, and Jared Kushner, and during Trump's meeting with Netanyahu in the afternoon. The president and his team raised settler violence against Palestinian civilians, the financial instability of the Palestinian Authority, and Israeli settlements expansion, the sources said. The U.S. message was that changing course in the West Bank is critical to repair Israel's relations with European countries and hopefully expand the Abraham Accords. Netanyahu spoke very strongly against settler violence and said he is going to take more action, the source with knowledge said. The White House declined to comment on the president's private meetings. Between the lines, West Bank policy, particularly when it comes to settlements, is a highly politically charged issue for Israel. The settler lobby is a key part of Netanyahu's base and has huge influence over his coalition government and inside his Likud party. The other side, upon his return to office, Trump lifted Biden-era sanctions against violent settlers and appointed Mike Huckabee, known for his staunchly pro-settler views, as ambassador to Israel. Since then, 2 Palestinian Americans have been killed for attacks, and fears of broader destabilization have grown. Huckabee has even tried to get the Israeli government to modify some of its policies, without much progress. Trump refused to say on Monday what his disagreements with Netanyahu were regarding the West Bank. He will do the right thing. I know that. I know him very well. He will do the right thing, Trump said. Beyond that topic, Trump was highly complimentary of Netanyahu and Israel's policies, including in Gaza and toward Iran, in their 2 joint press appearances. Flashback. In September, Trump stopped Netanyahu from annexing parts of the West Bank in retaliation for a wave of recognitions of the state of Palestine by European countries. But he didn't weigh in on Israel's broader policies in that area. Thanks for watching and follow for more.